Alright, good morning guys. Today we're doing a lure or setup challenge for Kokanee. One I've been wanting to do a long time. This is going to be old school versus new school. Everywhere I go, I run in these old timies out trolling on the Kokanee lakes, and they're all running like Cowbells like I have here, or Ford Fenders, and like a 2-foot leader, 2 or 3 foot leader to a needlefish. And like this is like the old school setup. Like I've dug through the literature. I found articles that are 40, 50 years old, basically referring to this setup. They must have a lot of confidence in it because they're always running this rig. So today I'm going to run this rig versus new school, which is like Dodger and spinner, or Dodger and hoochie. I'm going to start with the lake troll on the downrigger, but I might flip it at some point just so they both have equal chance to go downrigger and snap weight. Be really curious to see what turns out with this experiment. Oop, there's fish. That's on the Dodger. It's a big rainbow. Big old birdie boy. That thing's a monster. Alright, we'll get them back down that cold water as soon as possible. Come here, fatty. So yeah. Alright, well, not what I was looking for, but keep hunting for Kokanee. Oop, there's fish. On the Dodger. He doesn't feel like he's there anymore. Oh, there's one. On the old school rig. I cannot feel anything. Oh, it's off. Lost it. Darn it. Well, there's a bite. First bite on the old school rig. These needlefish only have one hook, so it's harder to keep them pinned, I think. Oop, there's fish. That was on the Dodger spinner. See if this will be the first Kokanee of the day or another trout. I'm kind of trouty this morning. Switched it up to a gold. I think that's one of the other advantages I really like of Dodgers over lake trolls. It's not only you can feel the fish better, but you can also, there's just a lot more variety of like colors and shapes available. Dodgers. Looks pretty chrome. Looking like the first Kokanee of the day. Nice. Alright. New school puts the first fish in the boat. We'll just fish out here for like maybe 2 or 3 hours and then call it quits and see where we're at on the scoreboard. I kind of slept in this morning because, well, I've been doing Brewster Pool Sockeye, which is like working the night shift. Getting up at 2:45 to get out on the water, take advantage of that morning bite. So I thought I'd sleep in, enjoy a casual morning Kokanee fishing, doing a old school versus new school lure challenge. So I got lines in the water around 6:30. It's 7:15 now. What I'm gonna do is switch these up about every hour from the downrigger. So I'll take the lake troll off the downrigger here in another 15 minutes and put the Dodger on there. Just kind of move them back and forth, give them each an advantage, I guess. Or disadvantage, I guess, depending on which one's producing more fish. Oop, oop. Next one. Yes, I got one on the... He's still on there. It's fighting like a Kokanee. Ooh, the old school answers back with a Kokanee. It's hard. It's so hard to retrieve it in, though. You have to like reel it all the way up to the tip of the... Once you get the blades out of the water, it's a lot easier. There we go. Nice. Got him. Kokanee number 2 today. Comes in on, that's a nice fish too. Comes in on the needlefish. 1-to-1. I'm just putting half a maggot on the needlefish so that doesn't interrupt the action of the spoon. Alright, so it's time to do the switch. We're going to move the new school rig onto the downrigger and the old school rig onto a snap weight system and fish them for an hour and see how it goes. Right now it's 1-to-1, although I've had several bites on the new school rig that I didn't get into the boat or didn't result in a fish. I've also had a few more trout on there too than on the old school rig. Alright, let's do the old switcheroo. It's kind of a pain, but trying to keep this test as fair and balanced as I can. Oop. Switch the hands. Got him on that turn. I'm so used to having that handle on the other side. Had to go for it. But definitely can more easily feel the fish. That's the nice thing about the Dodger setup. Very Kokanee-esque. There we go. Another Kokanee in the boat. Nice diversity of age classes in here. This is next year's fish, which is good. I'm not going to release them with 73-degree surface temps. Alright, that's 2 on the new school. And its first one off the downrigger. Ooh, this feels like a nicer fish. Yeah, it's Kokanee. It's just a nice one. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it's a beautiful fish. Nice, that's a big Kokanee. 3-to-1 now on the new school versus old school. Doing a lot better off the downrigger with the new school. They're holding pretty tight to that bottom. That thermocline is pretty much right 5 foot off the bottom, so it kind of makes sense that the downrigger would do a little better today. Although it didn't do, it only got 1 with the old school rig. I'll say that the old school rig does put out a hell of a lot more flash. I'll give it that. The needlefish has pretty good wiggly action on its own. There was a bite there. Old school rig just got slammed. There's one on the downrigger. Okay, that's a new one. Luckily he's still there. Never had the lock come undone on ram mounts like that. Woo! Definitely fighting like Kokanee. Nice size fish, this year's fish. Feisty. Come on. Turn, 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 turn. Come on. Oh, not turn that fast. Alright. That's 4-to-1. The new school is taking a commanding lead since it got flipped onto the downrigger. Got about 20 more minutes on the downrigger for the new school rig. Then we'll flip them back. Now, a lot of people still use needlefish today, but there are some other lures that sort of mimic that same sort of spoon, like triple teasers from Yakima Bait Company and the God's Tooth spoons are all basically the same style of lure, a little spoon that has lots of action. They all are rigged with single hooks, so I think some guys do rig them with 2 hooks, but it seems silly that they just don't come that way. Oop, there's one. Let's get it. Figured I'd get one. One through there. Oh, no. It's rainbow. It's a rainbow. See ya. Those darn things. Just 4 more minutes and we're going to do the switch. So far we've got 4 on the new school rig and just 1 kokanee on the old school rig. A couple missed bites on both and several trout on the new school rig. I haven't got any trout on the old school rig. Just kind of crazy. Kind of would have expected more trout on that. Ooh. There's fish. Yep. Got one on the old school rig. Get an arm workout, just reeling this in. Find my kokanee, what's the head shaking? Jeez. Oh, he spit it right there. Dang it. It's so hard to land them on these lake trolls. That's a bummer. Alright, it's time to switch anyways. I lost that one, that sucks. That was kokanee. They are so hard to get in on that lake troll, just so much drag. So far, it is 1 fish landed for the old school rig, and that was off the downrigger, and 4 fish landed for the new school rig, and that was 3 off the downrigger, 1 off the dropper or snap weight. Oop, there's fish right there. Already got one on the snap weight. That's a trout. I don't want no stinking trout. I tell you what, I think I'm going to do a half hour, and then I'll do a half hour with that one, and I'm going to call it quits. That's why I'm off the water by 10, because it's so hot. My camera will probably overheat by then. Oh, fish, fish. Still there? Yeah. On the turn. Oh, there you go, nice fighting like kokanee. Get over here. You little chromy dude. Come on. Oh no! Oh, you're right there. Annoying. That's hyper annoying. That should have been in my net. Well, definitely getting way more love on the new school rig. There's a bite. On the turn. Off the downrigger. Still there. Just feel the head shakes every once in a while. Nope, he's off. God, I cannot keep him pinned on this stupid lake troll. Single hook, they just shake it every time. Well, so far in the last 20 minutes, we went 0 for 1 on kokanee on the snap weight with the new school, and 0 for 1 on downrigger with the old school. Give it another 10 minutes with this one on the downrigger, and then switch them one last time, and they'll have all had equal time on the downrigger. It'll be 1.5 hours each, and 1.5 hours with snap weights. We're at 5 fish right now. 4 for the new school, 1 for the old school. Definitely lost a couple kokanee on the new school rig, and I've lost a couple on the old school. Alright, time to make the last switch. on the old school rig. See if I can actually get this one in the boat. Get the Kokanee. Got him. Alright, that makes us 4-4-2. Old school rigs landed one. Now on both downrigger and snap weight. Alright, it's at the 9:30 mark, so each rod has had an hour and a half soak on both snap weight and on the downrigger. Ended up landing 4 on the new school rig, so that's the Dodger and spinner setup. And we ended up landing 2 on the old school setup. I'd say we had more bites overall on the new school setup. Landed a few more trout on it as well, but definitely lost some kokanee on it. Same for the old school rig, lost a couple kokanee, but I think fewer bites overall was definitely the trend on that one. But even putting aside what I felt was the better productivity of the new school rig is just the feeling of fighting fish on the old school rig. It's just so much drag put out by those big blades on that lake troll. And that single hook rig on the needlefish, it just seems like those fish so easily throw the hook. But yeah, I mean, there were many times that I just couldn't tell if the fish was still on at all, whereas yet even with the snap weight on the new school rig, I could always tell if there's a fish there. You could feel the fight a lot better. Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the old school versus new school challenge. I'll put links to everything I use below, and I'll see you guys next time. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder.